Okay, everybody, so continuing along in our journey through the 10 planetary archetypes, not necessarily in order. And the next one we're going to explore together is the sun. The sun, of course, is the star at the center of our solar system. And that whole idea of the center is crucial to the sun. The sun is the centering principle of the personality. It's how we come home to ourselves and the center of who we are. And just like the sun is a bright light, the sun psychologically has a lot to do with learning to shine. Learning to shine with the light that you are meant to shine with. The light that you can shine with that no one else can shine in the exact same way. It has a lot to do with our creativity and our impulse to be seen and recognized for the unique, shining individual that we are. The sun has a lot to do with individuality, and it has a lot to do with the sense of self. Self with a small s and self with a big S in the Jungian sense. So the sun is the ego in a more limited sense, but it's the self in the larger reality. The self, the larger sense of true identity, when you connect with the deepest dimensions of who you are as an individual. And I think the sun, on a spiritual level, has a lot to do with our personal spiritual mission in life. The sun has to do with the hero archetype and our unique hero's journey through life. And so it'll say a lot about career and calling and creative passions. The alignments with the sun will give us a sense for how comfortable we are with ourselves and whether we have good self-esteem or not. Self-esteem is a solar issue. And when people are self-critical, self-judging, feel badly about themselves, that tends to be the shadow side of the sun. But when we feel positively about ourselves, when we're comfortable shining and being seen and being shining with our light, that's the more positive potential of the sun. Another shadow form of the sun, as opposed to being self-critical, we can also be full of ourselves. There's the potential for selfishness when we're really consumed with ourselves and our own needs and are not considering others, not considering the relational dimension of who we are, which is more the moon and Venus. This can be a problematic potential of the sun. And so part of the journey with the sun is learning to celebrate ourselves and honor our unique creative lives. But another dimension of solar work is balancing that out by being more in relationality, for example, and honoring other archetypes like the moon and Venus. And so when it comes to the sun and its potential, the questions to be asking yourself are, am I comfortable shining? Am I comfortable being seen? Do I have a strong sense of my own identity and my unique creative potential? If you don't, then you may need support in developing along these lines and reaching out to successful solar people who are comfortable with themselves, comfortable shining, who may be able to help you step into that positive potential for yourself. This is some of the work of the sun. The sun has a lot to do with that journey of the sun through the sky that kind of symbolically represents the whole hero's journey through life, and allowing ourselves to follow our own individual call is the solar need. And so these are the main things that I want to say about the sun. It has a lot to do with like light of day consciousness, when you shine a light on things and when there's a kind of enlightenment about something. Whatever the sun combines with in the chart, it shines a light on that second planet that it's in the angular relationship with. And so when there's a Sun-Pluto alignment, for example, there's more of a spotlight on the Plutonic dimension, which has a lot to do with biology and sexuality and our animal nature. There's a more vivid solar awareness about that second planetary arena. When the sun combines with Neptune, there's more of a spotlight on the spiritual dimension. Somebody like Carl Jung is born with the sun in a 90-degree square to Neptune, and his whole solar sense of identity and sense of self was tied up with the Neptunian archetype, which has to do with spirituality and dreams and Eastern thought and mysticism. His whole identification with and bringing a name to the archetypal dimension, the Jungian archetypes, is very much related to this Sun-Neptune combination. Oh, I should mention the sun literally has a lot to do with sunlight. And one way to honor the sun is to get outside in the sun and spend more time connecting literally with our star. And so one way to do that is to go for a walk during the daytime when the sun's out, and feel a sense of actual relationship with our star, the sun. So those are some initial thoughts, and I hope this has been helpful. We'll now move on to the moon.